trying to do? Oh, they're just getting him. They're just jumping on him now. I'm just keeping quiet for you to hear how the buffalo is making his last calls of life. And I highly doubt he got any chance of survival. The Owinos have gotten themselves some dinner. So he's just calling for help now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and that's exactly what happened. I just said a few minutes ago, this has been a very slow and painful death. It started late in the afternoon, and it is still going on. It's a bit disturbing. It's a bit sad, to see this buffalo go down. But again, as I said, this is the cycle of life. And if you look carefully, the two small little animals there in the background, if you look, and those are jackals. So as much as the lions are going to do the big job here, when I say the cycle of life, see how he's limping. He can't even walk. So these lions will feed on this buffalo. The jackals will also feed on the same, and also the hyenas. Definitely jackals will not be able to bring such a big prey down. So cycle of life means everybody benefits. Now, if you look at his elbows, if I may call them that, they are all broken down. They are torn. And ladies and gentlemen, remember, you can always ask questions. You can always send comments using hashtag safariLIVE on Twitter. Now, I may request you, you all have the courage to watch this. One word, and tweet me one word on what you think of this particular hunt. So those are the 5 lions there. They think the job is done. And the buffalo is still thinking, no, I'm not going down before I hurt one of you. Look at the face. He's definitely very angry with them because he knows he is done and he cannot. So long as he cannot move, he knows he is done, and exactly always, no chance of survival. Now, not once we see lions both in Kenya and South Africa in the Kruger National Park hunting lions, and sometimes back my friend Tristan had almost a very similar hunt of the Nkumas hunting a buffalo.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. My name is Tristan, and on camera today I've got VM. These lions are on the prowl. They're busy hunting at the moment, and there's lots going on because not only are the lions kind of moving towards a termite mound where there is a warthog that we've just seen run, but there is a whole bunch of buffalo that are behind us as well. There the buffalo are. They don't know that the lions are here. Buffalo is what this pride specializes in. They're very good at hunting buffalo. There's 12 members of this pride in total. When they see buffalo, they go into a completely different mode, and they really will try and pursue them as much as possible. Look, the whole herd's up. Now, this is where we've got to be a bit careful. You see how they form a front? Look at that. You see there is a calf in there as well. So the whole herd is now moving straight towards the lions. The lions are on our left-hand side. Look, they're going after the female with the calf. They're coming to chase her. So the big bulls are in here as well. Now, there's other lions on our left, but they spotted the calf. That's what they were going for. So the calf is the one that's going to be in the most danger. They're going to try and shift and move this herd around to try and get this calf isolated. You see, that's what they want, is they want the calf to be left on its own, and then they can run in and grab it. So there's lions on all sides at the moment, and this is what they want, is to try and kind of get to that calf. Look, you see how she's coming in? So she's going to try and do this. Now, she'll want to wear this female down as much as she can and try and get to that little baby. The little baby's going to have trouble. You see how she gives way to the adult male? Now, the rest of the pride needs to come in as well and help this female.
What a beautiful evening. This is Sydney Fumurani Mikosi Richiko Tanganeza. I am live from the western side of the Greater Kruger National Park here in South Africa, and I've got a beautiful Kalamba. Kalamba is one of the very skillful and intelligent young leopards here in the area. You can see she's now pretty much relaxed, and Kalamba is on a hunt at the moment. I have been following Kalamba for quite a while since this afternoon. There is quite a big difference between the lion hunt, as you saw in the Masai Mara with David, as well as the leopard. As leopards, they are very much solitary, and they've got to do everything just by themselves. So this leopard got to stalk an animal alone and have to catch an animal alone, and suddenly must have to be able to drag that animal up into a tree. So you can see it's quite a huge responsibility for just a one animal. So you can see that this cat is listening. At any time, we might see her going in order to chase something. While we are waiting to see what is going to happen, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be back right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't gotten anywhere. I'm staying here because this buffalo is not dead yet. It's such a long and painful death. I do not know how long it's going to take before he is fully dead. You can hear him bellowing. It's basically looking for help from the other members. Wow. This is exactly what cycle of life is all about. So a lot of bleeding is going on. If you look carefully on his hindquarters, you see it looks like he's muddy, but that's partly blood that's coming out from his hindquarters. And what these lions did, what they did was to break the tendons and the cartilages. Ooh la la. He keeps bellowing, calling for help. I don't think anybody gonna come. Tunabele. Mano zako ziko chini?
Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And as I told you earlier, I am not going to leave this sighting. Let's just have a look for a couple of seconds as I keep quiet and listen to this particular buffalo bellowing and calling for help. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is very sad, but this is how, the cycle of life goes. James, thank you very much for your tweet. You have said this is nature, and it couldn't be anything different. Many thanks, James, for saying this is nature. It's very true. And the good thing about the wilderness here, animals will always kill each other. Animals will always kill for a purpose. They'll kill to eat and not just killing for the sake of killing. So these lions here are trying to get themselves some dinner, and hopefully now they're just going to get it. So 3, no, the job is done. Having brought down the tendons, the cartilages on the elbows or the hind legs, it's more or less a done deal. Ladies and gentlemen, look, there's a male lion trying to sneak in this particular kill. I do not know which male this is, but if you look on the left, it may not look very clear. There's a male that's trying to come and help. But you see to the left? There is a male that's coming in, and he might come and give the final attack on this particular buffalo. The males do a different job, and there it is. And of course, the buffalo is not very happy. He can't do much. Let me just maybe move forward for a couple of seconds, for a couple of meters, and see what happens. Because now, what the male that has come, the ball game is going to change. But in the meantime, I'll send you back to Kruger National Park to Jamie as I reposition myself.
Rather than being surrounded by lions, which is, of course, the very unfortunate position that the poor buffalo finds itself in, we are completely surrounded by hyena cubs of various ages, and they're actually making our lives rather difficult. A very good evening, everybody. My name is Jamie, and for now I'm going to try and lighten the mood just a little bit with some hyena shenanigans. So we're sitting with the Juma clan, who are all around me. I'm trying to keep track of them in the dark. There was one to the right of me a second ago. No, it's gone. No, it's under the car. I know, because I just felt it hit the bottom. Oh, there it is. Is that a cub? Yes, that's a cub. There is a cub right next to me. Now, typically we don't use any form of artificial light or white light, but what I have been doing while I watch them, and remember, this is all happening live, what I have been doing is just turning on the light every now and again close to my feet, because I don't have a door. And while the hyenas mean absolutely no harm to me personally, the cubs are at a very, very curious age. And what they're trying to do is sniff my shoes. Now, that's okay, but I don't really want them to bite my foot. I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. Now, little Plonk has got a dwarf mongoose of his own, so there's lots of searching for food going on this evening, and of course we don't want to keep you away from David's buffalo situation, so off you pop back across to the Mara.
Thank you, Jamie. Don't go very far from that hyena den because a lot happens, and especially when you have the cubs by the den, it's always good fun to watch them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mara Triangle, and the ball game here has completely changed. And you can see what I'm talking about. We have now a fully grown male lion that just came and joined in this whole pandemonium. And he comes from a coalition that we call the Ondonyo Pike. Now, the females know that the big guy who is going to make them or make the job easier has arrived, and that's why they're very relaxed. Look at that. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. What a painful death. Caroline, good question there. And you were wondering why they're not going to the neck. This buffalo still, Caroline, has a lot of strength. And a little swing on that neck, if the horn gets into any one of these lions here, it can rupture their abdomen, it can poke their eyes out, it can fracture their legs, and they're very clever lions. They have a lot of experience. Avoid the head, avoid the face, and avoid the horns until he is down and out. But even with such a strong male lion like this, who I believe will finally bring it down, he is not going to take a chance. Let me just move forward a little bit and a little close. I mean, the job here is almost done. We are not going to interfere with this particular hunt because the lions know the moment they made him immobile by making sure he cannot walk correctly, they knew their job was more or less done. I'm going to stop here and see what this male lion, what difference he is going to bring. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not always an easy hunt, especially when they're hunting. Hoo-la-la, bellowing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to reposition myself, but in the meantime, I'll take you back to another sighting of the same hunt Tristan had in Kruger National Park.
Here comes the rest of the pride. See, here they come. So they've now going to try and single out this calf. There comes a big bull who's chasing them. Now, this is what I was saying about lions and buffalo. It's absolute pandemonium when they decide that they actually want to chase. So they've now worked out that there's a female and a young one. Now, let's see what's going to happen here. So they try and wear these buffalo down. You see, is they try and go after them, and they try and get a situation where they tire them out. And the big bulls are the ones that are coming into the aid of the cows. You see how these males are the ones that are trying to defend the calf, and so they are the big enforcers of this whole unit. So they're going to try and keep these lions at bay. So the big males out, then these are the calves in front, and the lions are going to have a tough time of it, because as long as the bulls are trying to protect the herd, getting close to those calves is going to be almost impossible. But the lions won't give up. They now know that they can try and start causing cracks and weaknesses. So they're going to dive into these herds, and they're going to try and push them as much as possible. But look, there's a big bull buffalo that's still kind of watching. Maybe what they're going to try and do is separate one bull, and then they're going to try. But no, here comes a buffalo. You see, he's charging in. And the lioness is the one that's held her ground. You see how the sub-adults ran there? So they're still very nervous of buffalo, and rightly so.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back live. And you have seen the Nukuhumas there. They continue trying to bring the buffalo down. It was not easy. And what happened there, I don't want them to come close to where we are. I may have to pull back a little bit, because he might get a little grumpy, because he knows he's dying, and he might decide to, I think we're in a safe distance now, Manu. And you saw the Nukuhumas trying to bring down a buffalo there. It's always not easy. Now, the Nukuhumas, I would say, I would compare them to the Owinos here. They both lack a lot of experience. Ladies and gentlemen, in this particular area, there's a particular pride that I follow. There are about 5 females and about 10 calves and 2 males, and this is one of the males in that particular pride. And they're called the sausage pride. Those ones are professionals, and they're very well trained to bring down buffaloes. Very well experienced, I would say. But the Owinos, just as you saw with the Nukuhumas, they got a long way to go to get better. Harry, you say you feel sorry for the buffalo. It's a rather painful death. So what I'm trying to do, Harry, is just to make sure I give them way. They don't come towards where I am. And that's a great comment. Can you see them there, Manu? Yeah, Harry, I agree with your comment. We all feel sorry for this buffalo, because it's taking so long to be brought down, and by now he should have died. See, the females are moving on that particular side. Now, if you look straight on, let me just put on my light, you'll see the other pride trying to go down and help the male. This is just epic, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep tweeting me, keep telling me what you think about this particular hunt, and I'm sure these females now want to go and help the male to finally bring it down. Well, you never know what may happen, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go. We are right here. We'll be right back after the break.
Kalamba is still now resting at the moment, but we can see that she is concentrating, trying to listen. I was trying to just reposition myself, as we want to give you the best sighting ever of this beautiful cat, Kalamba. The fact that the eyes are closed, it does not mean if anything comes here, she is not going to take action. You're not going to believe. You might even think she was up and running all the way. So these cats, they can be very much opportunistic, and I can promise you, we might be very lucky to see an action tonight. And let's cross over to Jamie and see what she's having at the moment.
Still an ad break. I have hyenas all around us, and they're causing us absolute anguish here, because they're either so close to us that we can't film, or they all move away and then we can't film them either and they disappear. And the thing is it's all Plonk's fault because he has a baby mongoose. Not a baby mongoose, sorry, a dwarf mongoose that he has picked up, and he's running around showing off. Here he comes again, right next to me. He's here. There he is. Of course, there he is. And then he keeps going right up to the side of the car. There, he's got it over there. And he's showing off with it. And Pretty's cubs want it. And Corky doesn't want to let them have it. Now she's stood on a thorn. It's chaos. Welcome back to your live safari experience, and what an experience it has been. We're sitting surrounded by the Djuma clan, and they're so close you'll notice that our vehicle is right here, and they are full of beans and being so thoroughly playful. That's the matriarch of the clan over there. Her name is Corky. She's got one of the cubs by the leg and is determined to turn it upside down. I'm trying to stay out of the way, but if I don't duck down, then my head's going to be blocking the action almost completely. So it's total chaos here. For those of you who have been watching our live safaris, Plonk, the matriarch's son, has managed to pick up a dead mongoose. I don't know where he found it, but he's so pleased with himself, and he's running around with this poor dead thing dangling from his jaws, and all the other hyenas want it. And Corky, this is the hyena that you're looking at now, she's trying to keep all of the others away from him and to stop them from stealing it from him. And he doesn't really want it to eat it. Now, Alan wants to know at what age hyena cubs start hunting. Well, here's the fascinating thing, Alan, as Corky marks her territory. They actually have quite a prolonged period of dependence upon their mothers, so it takes them 2 years to develop that massive jaw strength. And even though they are starting to eat meat at around about this sort of age, so between 6 to 8 months, they are still not ready to go out into the big wide world. They'll start to help at around about a year to a year and a half with the hunts. Does my car smell nice, guys? They are absolutely all over the place. They're making life really difficult for Craig because there's only so far the camera can sort of reach around the edges of the vehicle. And of course, I don't want to shine my spotlight around at them. So we're just having to guess and listen to where they are at any one point in time. I think they're to the right of me somewhere, or possibly just over my head. Yep, there he is. There's Plonk with his dead mongoose. Is that nice, boy? Are you so happy? So Plonk is the highest ranked member of the Djuma clan after his mother. He's a little prince, and he knows it. So he knows that he can keep that away from all of the other cubs, and that they cannot risk taking it without incurring the wrath of his mother, Corky, who's the head of the clan. Spotted hyenas, of course, phenomenally intelligent, very complex, and very tricky to film. Hence why, it's one of the toughest things to do, bring you a live safari. All right, as our game drive carries on and the hyenas disappear all over the place, let's pop across to James, who's also utilizing technology to help us find things.
Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. We are doing our best out here to have a wonderful evening. We're trying to find Tundi, the female leopard. Of course, this shouldn't concern you because really you have been seeing some quite phenomenal stuff up in the Masai Mara. Very difficult to watch, I'm sure. It is nature at its most raw, but as a friend of mine likes to say, nature is not cruel, she is just unashamedly herself. And I think that very aptly describes what's going on with the Awino pride there and the buffalo. And certainly, I imagine the stress that poor mongoose felt, funny as it is now, I imagine, well, it was probably about as severe as the buffaloes, to be honest. We are looking for Thandi with the thermal drone. You can see us moving along the road there. We have been searching this area now for, well, about an hour or so, and she came into this area 2 mornings ago. Remember last week we mentioned the fact that we thought she might have a den, that she might have given birth. We have not yet managed to find that den, and so we have spent a bit of time with her. We have been trying to follow her, and she gave us the slip in this area, like I say, about 2 mornings ago. So Thandi, our 13-year-old Queen of Djuma, we're not actually sure if she has cubs yet or not. The fact that she disappeared in here gives me hope that perhaps she does, because we were unable to relocate her. So I think maybe she went into a termite mound somewhere around here. Right, let's go back to Tristan and his buffalo hunt there. I will just give you a bit of an uplifting thought that this one does have a happy ending, I think.
Say we've got the best seat for now because we know where some of the lions are. The buffalo are not far away. Here comes some big boys from the buffalo herd. They coming in trotting. You can see the size of them. They are not small, particularly these males. And these are all bulls that have come out. So they're doing their job. They're defending their herd. Your heart beats at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And now the real war starts. Now look how the buffalo all come together when the lioness runs. So they all come. As soon as they see a lion, they come together. And it's a wall of animals that come straight towards us. Listen to them snorting as well. So they're sniffing, they're taking deep breaths, trying to hear. The lions are up on the mound. Now, we've got to hold our nerve a little bit here because obviously we've got lions all around us at the moment and we don't want to influence anything that goes on between, the lions or the buffalo. We don't want to have a situation where we by mistake chase any of them and they kind of get disturbed. So it's best just to try and get yourself out of the situation and have free path for both lions and buffalo to be able to move. Now, these sub-adults on top, they're going to have to stay here for now. They're going to have to be a bit careful that they don't get marooned on top there. I don't think these lions are actually going to get this right now. I think they've unfortunately wasted the opportunity by not getting that element of surprise. That first moment when they rushed the herd is when they needed to hit that calf and kind of grab it. Now the buffalo are far too organized.
Welcome back live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a bit sad now here because this buffalo has been brought down, and unlike the happy ending that you saw there with the buffaloes in Kruger National Park that my friend Tristan was watching, the buffaloes won and they moved away the lions. Now the buffaloes were very lucky and they survived to tell a story another day. Unfortunately, my buffalo here has not survived and it has no chance to tell a story because as soon as the male came in, you're seeing the male doing what we call the kiss of death or the choke cord at the mouth. Manu is going to show you. Manu is the cameraman with me today. So what he is doing now, he's holding the mouth and just making sure the strangulation have been done and just to make sure he doesn't get any more air. He's suffocating him. He cannot breathe anymore. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have said a few times, this is the cycle of life. So a bit sad to watch, but Joy, you're asking whether this is the best way or the only way to kill a buffalo. Unfortunately, Joy, this is how they do it. It's that you call the experience. Just like sounds I've always known. I'm sure, Joy, I've always followed. Sorry about that. Now it's time to have what you call the pecking order, and the male is putting his foot on the ground. He's saying, I did the big job. I need to eat fast. Well, we'll see how it'll go. And ladies and gentlemen, apologies that you might have lost my picture, excuse me, or my sound for a couple of seconds, but this is how things sometimes happen when we're broadcasting to you live from the African wilderness. Now, a few of them had time to breathe, and this male lion here has made the whole difference. Well, he comes from a coalition that we call the Ondonyo Pike, and it's time now for them to celebrate their meal. I'll continue watching them here and seeing what's happening, and hopefully no hyenas or jackals will come close as yet. In the meantime, we'll take you back to the Kruger National Park to Jamie, who still got the hyenas.
Nature is absolutely full of contrasts. Of course, it's very sad for the buffalo, but at the same time, it's happy for the lions in that they get to eat. And here, sitting at Djuma in the Greater Kruger, we have a side of hyenas that people very seldom get to see. I'm not talking about the back of them, hello Corky, but this incredibly playful side that very few people expect from hyenas, with, as we've often spoken about, probably far too often, their incredibly bad reputation. There's a top of my head poking up every now and again, but they are phenomenally intelligent and playful, believe it or not, and I've never actually seen them behave in this way. Which is why, of course, you shouldn't go anywhere as we go off into the break, because animals are always unexpected and they're going to surprise us. This is phenomenally difficult now that I'm with our more comfortable audience. This is really very tricky because, of course, every time Craig is operating two different cameras. Oh, bug in my mouth. Craig is operating two different cameras, but for him to try and move between one and the other is almost impossible because they are causing... Well, they just don't sit still for a start. There's Plonk and his mongoose. Plonk, I really want to talk about you and your mongoose in the flea because it actually tells us that you found it and you didn't kill it because it's ice cold. And you don't really want to eat it, do you? I didn't think so. Alright, there you go. Here's a Plonk with his toy. Oof. That's very brave, that's very brave. There's Corky playing with Pretty's cubs. Isn't that cool? Oh, my word. Please stay still, please stay still. Isn't it so nice to see that playful side of Corky? Oh, that beautiful nose. All right, don't go anywhere, Corky. 90. Oh, they're not going to stay still for a minute and a half. I can almost guarantee. I will do all of those things, Emma, with pleasure if my hyenas stay still. Corky, you and I have known each other a long time. Stay still. You have 60 seconds. Stand exactly where you are and do not move. I know that Plonk is off to my right, and I know that's what you want to go to, but you just have to stay still so we can get one good shot of you in flare, please. Plonk is coming up along the road towards her. Please. Welcome back to extraordinary scenes here in the Greater Kruger, where we have a host of playful hyenas, and we are watching them using a very special type of thermal technology, which I think some of you will have seen before. Look at its legs in the air. It's called a FLIR thermal camera, and it picks up on the body heat of the hyenas. So that's what you're looking at there. Obviously, the sort of more towards the red-yellow spectrum is the body heat of the animal, and then the colder blues and purples. There you go. That is the matriarch of the clan, Corky, and she is just one of 4 mothers with cubs at this particular den site. And actually, in this particular clan, there are only 5 adult females, so 4 out of the 5 have cubs. A very, very special clan. She's been chasing the cubs around all evening. And I have to tell you something, that this is not just a sighting one experiences through watching. One also smells it as well. They absolutely smell. Now, I've just introduced you to Corky, the matriarch. There are, as I said, 4 mothers of the Juma clan. Why don't you learn a little bit more about them?
This year has seen an impressive and very cute expansion of the Juma clan. Corky, the matriarch, distinguished by the top and bottom cuts on her left ear, has one precocious son, Plonk, born in September 2018. Pretty, the next highest ranking, has a large half moon missing from the top of her left ear. Her 2 cubs, a male and a female, are a month older than Plonk. June, who we followed since the day she was born in June 2015, birthed her first litter in January. And they are both healthy and typically entertaining. The latest new addition belongs to Ribbon, a low-ranking hyena who scuttles off every time a more dominant member arrives.
So there you go, visits to the Jumadan clan den, always rewarding. But at the same time, it does mean that one's vehicle can occasionally become the chew toy. Hey, stop it! Can feel, not you. It's not the hyena we're looking at. There's another one that's chewing on my tire. I'm having to lean almost into the center of the vehicle to try and stay out of the way. Okay. Whew. They're keeping us guessing, making us work very hard. I imagine that for Sydney, Tlalamba's doing much the same thing to him.
I've got a very beautiful leopard here at the moment. I'm just going to show you now. And there has been a little bit of confusion earlier on when we saw this leopard. This is Tandy, it's not Tlalamba, as I have indicated. The thing is, we have been following Tlalamba all day long. And somewhere in between, there was another sighting nearby where I quickly went in order to find what was there. When we got there, we thought it was the relocation of Tlalamba. And unfortunately, it was Tlalamba's mother, which is Tandy. And I don't want to lose Tandy at the moment. I just want to quickly keep following so that I can improve the sighting. So Tandy is one of the very famous leopard here. Normally we call her the queen. The queen is looking very hungry at the moment, and I can see that she is on a hunting mood. While we are still waiting to see what she's going to target, let's cross over to one of my friends.
Well, very good luck to Tandy, Sydney, many thanks, and hopefully Tandy, the queen of that area, is going to catch herself something. Well, finally the game is over here and these particular lions are enjoying the meal. But look at the respect of this particular one male here. He came and he did the final blow to this buffalo. He did what called the chokehold or the kiss of death. As much as the buffalo seems to be smiling there, it's a very sad face for me to see. But this is exactly how things work out here in the wilderness. So definitely he did a lot of work, and I'm sure he's still panting. He won't rest a little bit before he can also join in the party. Sad, but it's exactly how it goes. And what happens is once they're able to bring the buffalo down, they'll just take their time and feed on it. How sad for the buffalo and to the lions. Not sure to say very well done, but it's exactly what it is. Luckily they have come out without injury. And in general, ladies and gentlemen, lions prefer to hunt in the darkness. You remember earlier I was telling you they're waiting for the darkness to come in before they actually go to proper hunt. And not only this pride takes advantage of the darkness, but also my favorite pride of lions, called the sausage pride, sometimes back, took the same advantage.
As the sun sinks to the western horizon, the sausage tree pride woke from a day of slumber. Some greeting, stretching, and playing bonded the pride in preparation for a hunt. The blanket of darkness was complete. The lions, with Kinky Tail in the lead, sprung a trap. But even this experienced pride fails from time to time. And it wasn't only prey trying to avoid the owners of the pride lands that night. Injured competition was perfect for the lionesses to vent their frustrations. Imagine the terror this crippled hyena felt when it saw the lion's eyes reflecting the starlight. Somehow, fueled by adrenaline, it found the reserves to overcome the pain, to run, to fight. And to survive in the face of horrendous odds. The sausage tree pride remains fiercely protective of their land and their cubs.
Welcome back live, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you from what you just saw there, the lion's success of hunting we always consider to be about 30%. So the sausage tree pride, which I told you is my favorite pride, were not very lucky that particular day to take down a zebra as much as they also took advantage of the darkness, just like this particular pride here that we call the Owino pride. Owino pride has 5 members, 4 females and 1 youngster male. Let's see if you can hear them now trying to clutch the skin or the hide of this buffalo. Everything just working very well for this particular lions. Cool temperatures is about 24 degrees Celsius. Everything just worked perfect. I'm still going to enjoy watching them feeding on this buffalo, sadly, as much as I feel sorry for the buffalo. But in the meantime, we'll take you back to Kruger National Park to Jamie, who still got the hyenas.
I'm having an equally enjoyable evening. I have to say that being a mother is, well, seriously hard work. And sometimes our Juma clan and females are quite thoroughly exhausted by the entire experience. And the cubs are still wandering around right next to us, unfortunately making our lives rather difficult when it comes to filming them. But Pretty over there has decided that she's had it. And I think actually the entire time that we've been watching the cubs play around us, she's actually been lying up here and enjoying a little bit of peace and quiet. I suspect that the female hyena actually appreciates it when we come and visit because it distracts the cubs and keeps them busy. And while we watch all sorts of things play out with the Juma clan, among other incredible things, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more incredible African wildlife shortly. I've got a bit of a confession. I'm using my spotlight because they've actually snuck a piece of my car and some of it's right down by my feet. So I'm just going to see if I can rescue it. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Ew, it's gummy. Ta-da. Okay, I got it. There's the other piece. I haven't managed to get that yet. They took a piece of my car off. Okay, so while I figure out how to manage this situation, let's go across to Tundi with Sydney, not Tlalamba.
I can see here where we are now, the grass is getting much taller, and Tandy just marked her territory and decided to hide somewhere under these bushes. I am trying by all means to relocate her somewhere here, which is very difficult at the moment. Maybe she's somewhere around here. So Tandy is on a hunting mood. The chances of Tandy to hide, they are so very much high. Tandy has just disappeared somewhere by this area, and I am checking. I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. We have also witnessed an unwelcomed visitor. We just saw a hyena as well earlier on in the very same area, which might disturb a little bit of Tandy's mission, which is hunting at the moment. So Tandy is one of those leopards who are so very much well equipped when it comes to hunting skills. Becky, thank you very, very much for such a lovely question. Becky would like to know if Tandy has got some circle marks. The circle marks, they are just signs to show if Tandy is now lactating. Unfortunately, when I saw her, I couldn't manage to get hold of the underneath parts. But I know Tandy has been spotted for a while now, heavily pregnant, and we are not too sure if already she has delivered or not. It's something that we are very much highly interested to see. But let's hope for the best. Maybe she has got cubs yet. We don't know. So these beautiful cats, they've got a very nice, good vision at night. So the chances of Tandy to catch something during the dark like this, they are very much high. And one of those animals who does give them a lot of challenge when having a kill is the hyenas. Now let's cross over to Jamie, who is at the hyena den.
No, nor in fact is Tandy particularly fond of hyenas, although amazingly for her small size, she is able to intimidate them from time to time. A hyena obviously much, much larger than a leopard the size of Tandy. She probably only weighs around about 40 kilograms if I were to guess, where this cub over here, who's only about 6-7 months old, is already rapidly approaching that sort of weight. So hyena's much bigger, much bulkier than a small female leopard. Things starting to quieten down ever so slightly. Which, is good news for us because it means that we can take a little bit of a breather. Right, well, we've been mixing Tandy and Tlalamba up all night. Well, the good news is that James is able to clear up some of the confusion.
Found Tlalamba, everybody, if you can possibly believe it. We've got her on the drone there. You can see her moving now just to the left-hand side of the vehicle. And, of course, I'm flying at the moment with Sébastien Rombi, the greatest French-Gabonese Air Force pilot in history, but he is unable to currently operate the camera and the drone at the same time. So what we're going to do is hover the drone and then we'll try and catch up quickly with the cat so that you can believe me. But isn't that wonderful that we managed to find her? We're very excited, certainly. And I've got to tell you, it was blind luck. Absolute blind luck. There she is. She's stalking something. She's hunting. There, she's hunting now. She's just over there. Have you got her there? Seb, she's just over there. We're just going to go into infrared now, everyone. There we are. Beautiful leopard on the hunt. Isn't that spectacular? Don't know what she's hunting. Naturally, of course, we might have to land the drone or it'll fall out of the sky. I can see eyes just behind that. I'm going to shift forward there. This is wonderful stuff. Don't want to give anything a fright. I can see eyes behind the bush. You got her. Just behind the bush. And I can see eyes in the background there. Can you see anything? Yes, it's an impala. She's stalking the impala now. So we can only see her with the infrared, at least with the thermal at the moment. So she's got herself into those thickets. And we can't... There's the cat. You can see the cat left-hand side. And the impala lying down straight in, sort of central now, and moving to the right-hand side of your picture. Oh, this is wonderful stuff. Isn't this amazing? Let me just try and sneak forward in the car and just see that we can't know. In fact, I probably should wait here because we'll get a view, if we're very lucky, through the trees. Now, she's going to be very, very patient if she can. Cats are the most tremendously patient things in the world. And the sad news is that we're running out of battery in the drone. But we can stay up for a bit more, says Sebastian. Let's go back to the drone shot now. Oh, they've seen her. They've seen her. You can see the cat moving away now, off towards our right-hand side. Here she is. She's just over here to our right. And the impala, I'm afraid, spotted her. I don't know how. We didn't have any lights on whatsoever. Yeah, let's put her on camera now. Seb, if you can see her. There she is. She's coming just past us. Just going to reverse back a bit so you can have a good view. There we are. There she is, right here. Isn't that beautiful? Gee, we got lucky there. Turning around. Yeah, Henk, you're absolutely right. It was complete blind luck that we found her. We just thought we'd have a quick look over here, down in this area, and we got lucky. There we go. She's still over there on our right. Oh, let me just go a bit forward. Now, we don't want to light her up, of course. We don't want to light her up for any potential prey, so we'll put the IR back on her. Can you still see her, Seb? Okay, you still got her there. There she goes, wandering off into the grass. And look how beautifully coloured she is. Remember, most animals, although they don't see in black and white, they don't see colour. And so this is the kind of view they'd have if they had excellent, excellent night vision. So we're going to leave her to hunt. And hopefully she'll be successful during the course of the evening. Oh, that's very special indeed. What a stroke of luck. All right, everybody. That's going to be it from this episode. Action-packed as it was. Absolutely astounding stuff in the Masai Mara. I hope it wasn't too gory and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.